We're halfway through the week. It is Hump Day, May 13th, 2026. It's Peach's Pit Party. If you want to get a hold of me, you can. Over at 208-535-1015. I mean, if you're one of the few old people that got legit upset by my comments yesterday about the P word that is Pandora, you can call in and scream at me if you want. I wonder if some of those people still have a rotary phone. Maybe they can even use the landline like my parents have. I don't know why they don't just get rid of it at this point. Every so often, my parents will get a call and that robotic lady will go over the speaker, say like, call from Spam Risk. Like it's a weird way. She says it's so weird, and it's such a weird way. Spam Risk. I was reading the comments on that video I made yesterday talking about how Pandora is the old person Spotify. Just my observation. There have been countless times where I've met an older individual and somehow radio gets brought into the conversation, and that person will then go, oh, I don't listen to the radio. They say it in such a scandalous tone, too, like, oh, I had an extra cupcake. Like, I don't listen to the radio. I listen to Pandora. Which, I mean, fine, right? It's 2026. You can listen to whatever you want. Most people got that it was a joke. Did not get their depends in a twist. Again, I'm kidding, all right? There's so many entertainment options out there, and if you're listening to me right now, I truly thank you. There have been countless times I have been called unk or old by Maddie from down the hall. I showed my girlfriend Aubrey, her younger brother Kyle, the show flyer for Papa Roach coming to the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater. Papa Roach set it off in Autumn Keens, and he had the nerve to say, man, the millennials, they're going to be so thrilled about that one. Was I offended and start screaming at him? No. Like, it's just, I get it. I'm approaching 30. 2026 is the year I turned 30. Maddie, just down the hall, turned 20 yesterday, which is quite a shocker that 2006 was 20 years ago. Anyway, like I mentioned, don't be so offended by everything. All right, it was just an observation. I shared it on my personal Facebook page. Someone got really mad. Was like, we don't care. We'll use Spotify. Who cares if we're old? Like, yeah, not Spotify, Pandora. It's like, who cares if we're old? Yeah, I mean, who cares if you use it? Go for it. You have the freedom to do so. Well, I just talked about old people in that last break. Why not talk about one more? 81-year-old Eric Clapton. I'm shocked he's still performing. You think at his age and with his legacy, he would have been like, 20 years ago, I'm retiring. But no, he's still going at it. I mean, people sometimes just don't stop. Look at, can I even say his name on the air? D Van D. I'll call him that. Do you know who I'm talking about? D Van D from Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and those classic films. He's 100, still going at it. David Attenborough, still doing voiceovers and doing them quite well, even though he is 100 years old. Congrats to them for making it that long. I mean, really, a century old. Somebody made a joke saying he got to see World War II and I Show Speed in the same life. Isn't that wild? 1926 to 2026. I mean, so much stuff has happened. It's crazy. But Eric Clapton, going back to him, he's 81 years old. He was doing a concert in Madrid, and he was struck by what appeared to be a vinyl record. The video shows Clapton walking along the stage to applause from the crowd before he was hit by the object. According to Guitar World, Clapton had left the stage, then returned to perform an encore. After being hit by the object, he didn't go through with the encore. Yeah, I would do the same thing. I would just leave as well. No one's going to throw stuff at me at my show. You pay money to come see me, and you have the audacity to throw a vinyl record at me. I mean, the guy was probably wanting to get it signed, but still, vinyl records are delicate. They're big items. You don't just throw them at people, especially throwing them at celebrities while they're on stage or musicians on stage, just to see if they will sign it for you. Just like with Ollie Sykes, someone throwing their phone at him. I talked about that yesterday. Someone threw their phone at Ollie Sykes to see, hey, maybe he'll pick it up and record a video and I can post it on my Instagram and it'll go viral. Pretty soon we'll have to have concerts with plexiglass. Though they'll play in like a glass dome of sorts, just so nothing like this can happen in the future. Here's Papa Roach right now. Wake up calling on K-Bear 101. Bill Murray with a day to remember, or should I say Jeremy from a day to remember on Peach's Pit Party. It's K-Bear 101. You know, it's very interesting seeing articles like this talking about how companies are struggling to reach qualified job candidates online, literally from CBSNews.com. How to post jobs online and reach more qualified candidates. Hire East Idaho exists, all right? The website's redesigned, hireeastidaho.com. You can find local jobs from local companies right there. This week's Hire East Idaho Job of the Week is a sales rep position with Grand Peaks Prime Meats. This remote opportunity offers the potential to earn between $100 and $500 daily and is ideal for someone who's self-motivated, independent, ready to help grow a thriving local business. Grand Peaks Prime Meats is a dedicated local butcher shop known for premium custom cuts, top quality craftsmanship. In this role, you'll work directly with customers, take orders, communicate with the butchers to ensure customer specifications are met, and help build long-term customer relationships. Obviously, you also identify sales opportunities, a whole bunch of stuff. If you're driven, personable, passionate about customer service, and looking for an opportunity with serious earning potential, this could be a perfect fit. You can apply now at hireeastidaho.com. And while you're there, explore even more local opportunities. Hire East Idaho, connecting people with opportunity. I've talked about it many times before on this program here that I didn't realize for the longest time that the left lane is the passing lane. You know, I grew up in a place where the highway is 6 lanes wide and they're all clogged, and you have gridlock traffic for all hours of the day. So when I moved out here about 5 years ago, I would drive in the left lane thinking it was like the fast lane and that you could just sit in there and drive in the left lane. And sure enough, people would pass me on the right and then give me like a sour look or give me a certain hand gesture. And I was wondering why all these Idaho drivers were just so mad all the time. Found out I was the problem. So now I follow the rules. Use the left lane as a passing lane, but sometimes on the highway, you'll come across 2 semi-trucks, one in the left lane, the other one in the right lane. And it's awful to deal with, right? You can't go past them. You have to drive slowly behind them. It's like being stuck behind 2 of those older, bigger people at the grocery store, and they're both doing that leaning on the cart walk, and they're blocking the entire aisle. You're like, get out of the way! I can move much faster than this. Well, there's a clip that has gone viral. The 2 semi-trucks are taking over both lanes of the highway, rolling side by side at their own comfortable pace, while a growing parade of cars stacks up behind them with nowhere to go. It's the kind of situation that makes even the most patient drivers grip their steering wheel a little tighter and start mentally drafting strongly worded letters to no one in particular, you know? Well, this one guy pulls into the breakdown lane on the right, accelerates past the trucks, cuts back in front of them, and then slides into the left lane where they proceed to drive at a pace best described as aggressively leisurely. The truck in the left lane, now stuck behind a car going slower than it wants to, has no choice but to merge right, and just like that, the left lane opens up, traffic starts moving again. The caption on TikTok says, "Whoever this is, I'd like to thank you for your service." The comments section agreed. Why are truckers allowed to do this? Maybe we should talk about this on Traffic School, powered by the Advocates, because this Yahoo Auto article, it goes on to talk about further, was it actually legal that is complicated? The slow roll blocking tactic itself lands in a legal gray area. Deliberately driving below the speed of traffic to influence another vehicle's movement is not something you'll find endorsed in any driver's handbook. So while the move was creative and clearly crowd-pleasing, it is worth noting that the internet cheering section is not a traffic course. So we'll have to talk about that on Friday. I'll put that in Victor's notes. Traffic School, powered by the Advocates, every Friday morning at 8:45 right here on K-Bear 101. LeBron James said he's still not sure about retirement after the Lakers were swept out of the playoffs by the Thunder on Monday night. If the 41-year-old doesn't play again, he'll leave the game with a career stacked with records. I mean, many of which will never be broken. He's got most games played, 1,622, most playoff games, 301, most All-Star games, 22, most points in the regular season, 43,440, and most points in the playoffs, 8,521. when you play as long as LeBron has, you've got to take the good with the bad, as he also has the most turnovers ever, 5,650. Got some boxing news here for you. It looks like we won't get to enjoy Jake Paul getting punched in the face anymore. The video influencer turned boxer said that he's still recovering from getting knocked out by former heavyweight boxing champion, the hero Anthony Joshua, and is dealing with a broken jaw. Paul said that there's most definitely a chance he won't be able to fight again because of the injury. Says here, I'm getting some new scans in a couple of days of the jaw to get an update on the healing process. He said, we'll see what my doctors say. I think I'll be able to get more accurate time frame, or can I even fight again? In pro football news, if you've ever wanted to own a piece of Pittsburgh Steelers history, the team has a deal for you as Acrisure Stadium undergoes a massive facelift. The team is selling roughly 22,000 seats from the upper level and north club sections. These are the original seats from back when the stadium opened in 2001, meaning that they've survived 25 years of Pittsburgh winters and hundreds of games. A single seat will set you back $399, but you get a deal if you grab a pair for $599. All right, if you're on a budget or tight on space, they're also selling just the seat backs for $199 or the bottoms for $149. I guess I'll have to tell my Uncle Sonny, who's a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, about this. That's your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on KBR 101. You know, there's a lot of dumb questions when it comes to interviewing for a job. But can we finally retire? Can we finally retire the what's your biggest weakness question in job interviews? One guy got asked that recently, panicked, completely blanked out, accidentally answered Oreos. I respect it. It's probably the most truthful answer that question has ever received. The interview questions always make people sound like malfunctioning robots anyway. At least for me. I'm a terrible interviewee. I'm shocked I even got hired here. Victor was the first guy to interview me, and then Jade popped up in a second one, and he had the long beard at the time. I was like, Dumbledore, is that you? The Oreo guy, at least he was honest. The internet loved it so much that Oreo themselves responded and basically said that should count as a green flag during hiring. I'm hoping this guy got the job because he posted about it on TikTok. Whole thing went viral. If somebody admits they're emotionally vulnerable around Oreos, that tells me way more about them than hearing, I'm a perfectionist for the 900th time. That's how I got my internship with iHeartMedia. The interns were the ones doing the interviews for their replacements. And the intern asked me, what was your first concert? I've talked about this on the show before. I went, my first concert, I do want to say, was AC/DC back in 2008, but a few months earlier that same year, I went and saw Hannah Montana and the Jonas Brothers at the Staples Center at the time. They laughed, they liked it, they liked that I was honest, and hired me, all right? Being honest helps you out. Apparently, the internet is now debating something called car ranch. The fact that so many people immediately knew what that meant is deeply concerning. A Florida mom went viral after finding out her daughter keeps ranch packets in her car for emergencies, not in the fridge, not in a lunchbox, in the car in Florida heat, out of all places, for months. And somehow the daughter acted like this was completely normal behavior. What's even crazier is the internet basically sided with the daughter too. People started admitting they have they also have car ranch, car ketchup, car hot sauce, entire glove compartments dedicated to condiments. That's right. I need to ask Lieutenant Crane a question because my friend Christian, he has a cooler full of drinks in the back of his car. If there's closed alcohol bottles in a cooler in the trunk and they're always in there, is that legal? He says it is, or my friend Christian says it is, not Lieutenant Crane. I'll have to put that on the traffic school sheet. Again, traffic school powered by the Advocates every Friday morning at 8:45. I feel like having a condiment in your car just sitting there. Oh, how hot it would be. How gross it would be. At what point did we all collectively decide our vehicles needed dipping sauce storage? I mean, hopefully car manufacturers in the future decide to include that, maybe like a little safe compartment for all the dipping sauces that you need. Victor has that ketchup drawer in his office. He also has some hot sauce in there, but it's 98% ketchup. Ketchup from all these different restaurants. Oh, cool. Another completely normal thing we all do apparently has a cybersecurity warning attached to it now. Experts are saying your peace sign selfies could potentially expose your fingerprints if the photo is clear enough and close enough to the camera, which sounds fake. Until you realize modern phone cameras can basically photograph anything now. Jeez, I'm a future criminal zooming into your Instagram photo, like perfect. I finally have access to Ashley's left index finger. The article says researchers have warned about this for years, but AI image enhancement tools are making it easier to sharpen fingerprint details from photos that used to be too blurry to use. I miss when the biggest danger of posting selfies online was just getting tagged in an unflattering angle. Remember that? I was thinking like, the peace sign, I don't have any pictures of me doing the peace sign. I instead do the horns, and my fingerprints are facing me in those photos, so it's even better to throw up the horns. It's Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. I started off the show talking about old people because yesterday I posted a video saying Pandora is the old person Spotify. Just my observation, just my joke. I further discussed it in that little clip. Sure enough, people acted all offended, getting all upset that I said that. It's like, okay, come on. It's just a joke. It's just my video. It's my observation. And they're like, who cares? I'm like, well, you follow me on my page, so clearly you care. But I came across this article talking about 52 things Gen Z does that older people do not understand. No, we're not going to go through all 52 of them. I can hear those people screaming in my ear right now, shut up and play some music. If I wanted to hear talking, I'd listen to a podcast. Number 1 on this list, avoiding phone calls at all costs. I, for one, am different. I'm more so old school. I think I was more so, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say bullied by my dad, but I do want to say, like, he made sure that I learned in the worst way possible to talk to people, meaning he would say, oh, Brendan can't talk to people. He's lame. Just can't talk to anyone. No friend, Bren. And sure enough, now look, talking to tons of people through the radio. There's podcasts out there. A huge part of my job is interviewing famous people, talking to listeners on the phone. I talk to a whole bunch of different people now. I would much rather do a phone call than ever just text someone or email. It's so much easier just to convey a message over the phone rather than type the whole thing out. Sending voice notes instead of calling. Sometimes I'll send a voice note when I really don't feel like typing, like I just mentioned. And also, if they can't really answer the phone, sure, I'll send them a voice note. Makes it easier. Filming concerts through a phone screen. Now, like I've said before many times, I'll record little bits and pieces of a concert to be able to post clips on our social media pages, all right? K-Bear 101 FM on all social media platforms. Turning everyday life into content. Now, wait a minute. I've been doing that as of late. Doing these Airbnb reviews for tall guys. Because every time I go down to Salt Lake City and I book an Airbnb to stay in the city for the night and then take off back to Idaho Falls the next morning, I'll stay at a cheap Airbnb. And usually it's like what someone describes as a private room. And usually the ceiling's too short and I make it a joke. And I post that on social media. You get to see what life is like at 6'9", all right? Watching influencers constantly, watching people eat on mukbang videos. Isn't that weird? Like you're watching people eat on a video. I know like video game streams really make the older generations like get freaked out. They go, so you're watching a person play a video game instead of playing the video game yourself. And it's like, well, I can twist that around for you. I could say, you're watching people play golf rather than playing golf yourself. Justin from 105 The Hawk just posted yesterday, because he's still recovering from surgery. He posted yesterday, like, hey, I'm at home and I found a 24/7 bowling channel. He's watching people bowl over and over and over again. I mean, good for him, to each their own, I guess. Here's Era, Black Cloud on K-Bear 101. It was a couple years back I posted about how in elementary school we had, instead of cartons of milk, we had pouches of milk. Like, it was very weird now that I think about it. It would be like the equivalent of a bean bag, but it was just full of milk, and you would have to puncture it with a straw. And if you punctured it too far and went out the other side, milk would go everywhere. Wasn't the best idea, especially for elementary school kids. But we had it. I had it throughout my entire time in elementary school. Like, we never went to cartons. And my sister, who went to that same elementary school years after me, or I think I don't know how many years after me. No, I think there was one time. So I think they changed right as I left. Of course they did. Schools always do that. They wait till you leave, and then they upgrade. And so my sister, when she was still going there, they finally switched to cartons. And I think some kids even missed the pouches. I don't know why. But I posted about it again because I wanted to talk about it and see what other people had to say, because I've been posting a lot of these different videos as of late. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll talk about this again. If anybody else had the sack milk back in elementary school. And sure enough, there's tons of comments. Yep, we had it in Louisiana. Had it in Indiana. One guy even said, I got bagged milk in prison. Matthew, Apollo Beach Elementary in Florida served milk and juice in a bag. I wonder why. Nicholas said, absolutely. I went to multiple elementary schools across the nation. Had it a multitude of times. Stab the straw sideways into the seam or bite the corner off, but if you bit the corner, it was a one-time thing and had to drink it all. That's what one of my friends from high school, Christina, commented on my post. Bite the corners off if they forget to give you a straw. You had to basically learn how to shotgun a milk pouch. That's the name of this podcast. Shotgun a milk pouch, Peach's Pit Party. Hey, if you're looking for something fun to do with the family while also supporting a great cause, a really great cause, you can join the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Idaho for the Family Fun Run and Carnival happening Saturday, June 20th at 9 a.m. at the waterfront at Snake River Landing in Idaho Falls. There will be fun runs, carnival games, food, music, activities for all ages, all supporting the Ronald McDonald House Family Room, helping provide a home away from home for families with hospitalized children. All right, bring the family out, make some memories, help make a difference for local families right here in our community. You can get registered today, get more information overall about it through the channel apps, K-Bear 101, Alt 101, Cannonball 101. Open the app, open the menu, go to RMHC Family Fun Run. It'll take you to the proper site. Here we go with today's What the Headline here on Peach's Pit Party. A woman reportedly turned blue after taking a common antibiotic called, is it minocycline? Minocycline? Is that how you're supposed to say it? Often prescribed for things like infections. Doctors say the craziest part is how fast it happened. Apparently, she started noticing these dark blue patches on her legs after only 2 weeks. And eventually, the discoloration spread to her arms and even her tongue. Doctors diagnosed it as drug-induced hyperpigmentation. Told her to stop taking the medication and avoid sun exposure. Months later, the discoloration had faded a little, but still hadn't completely gone away. Now, to be clear, doctors say the side effect is extremely rare and the medication's generally considered safe, but imagine just casually taking an antibiotic and then one day looking in the mirror like you just joined the Blue Man Group against your will, looking like Papa Smurf. There was a time where I was taking these new antibiotics. I've been on them now for quite some time, but I could only imagine I would have been freaked out. Like, I was freaking out about other side effects, other subtle side effects. I would have screamed at the top of my lungs if I woke up looking like Paul Giamatti's character in The Big Fat Liar, just all blue. This is a great Would You Rather. Would you rather deal with heavy traffic on the way to work, or would you rather deal with a truck that spilled thousands of gallons of liquid fertilizer all over the road? And if you've ever smelt liquid fertilizer before, I'm sure everyone has around here. You already know this instantly because it became everybody's worst drive to work of all time. Police originally treated it like a hazardous material situation, shut the whole road down, while hazmat crews cleaned everything up, which had to be an absolutely brutal job assignment. Having to deal with it? Nah, imagine having to clean it up. You show up to work, your entire day becomes, all right, guys, we're dealing with an ocean of farm stink. I hope you're ready. Maybe I should put that in the traffic school notes for Victor. Has Lieutenant Crane dealt with a lot of just liquid fertilizer? Authorities eventually reopened the road and told drivers they were good to go again. Although I love they basically hinted people might want to keep their windows rolled up. No kidding. The smell probably attached itself to every car in a 5-mile radius, like a cigarette like cigarette smoke in a 1997 bowling alley. Remember when Idaho Falls stunk for a short while there? Every post on Facebook was about that. The simpler times. Beartooth with Free, they're teasing a new track that I think comes out this Friday. I think they had that in one of their posts. It just said Friday on it. So, yeah, there we go. New song, I think it's called Pure Ecstasy from Beartooth, coming out this Friday. That to look forward to. What else is there? New Five Finger Death Punch is coming out this Friday. I believe there's another track that's coming out next Wednesday that I can't say who the artist is, but it's coming. And then Breaking Benjamin obviously dropped a new track today. Not this Friday, but the Friday after is going to be rather busy for us. We got a few things happening, one of which I want to talk about right now. The other two have to wait until that day. But I am personally going to be at Al's Sporting Goods in Idaho Falls on 17th Street. 3 to 6 p.m. next Friday. I don't have the notes here for what exactly I'm there for, but I'll be there. 3 to 6. And what I'll do is that while I'm there, I'll have the box ready to go, just in case you want to stop by, get yourself signed up in the drawing for pit tickets to go see Papa Roach set it off in Autumn Kings live at the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater on July 23rd. Pretty soon, once we run out of those tickets, we'll start giving away those Theory of a Dead Man and Seven Dust tickets again as well. You know, so much stuff happening. I love when things pick back up. I love and hate it because, well, I do love it because I do love giving stuff away here on the show, but also I hate it because there's so much extra work involved. Rage Against the Machine, wrapping up the program for today. I'm looking forward to getting through tomorrow and Friday as fast as possible so I can just get to this weekend and finally enjoy some time off. Last weekend, had to drive to and from Salt Lake City. I was preparing for an interview that didn't happen. And then before that, I think there was something else. I forgot exactly what, but there was something else that prevented me from just having a nice weekend, stay at my place, get things cleaned up, play some games, enjoy some just alone time maybe. Who knows? But yeah, looking forward to the weekend, as everyone hopefully is. And next weekend, not this weekend, but the one after that, we got Memorial Day weekend, an extra day. Thank you to those who have served this great country, who sacrificed their lives for this country. That is why we have Memorial Day weekend, and that's the unofficial start to summer. Man, oh man, summer's already here. The June bugs are already out. There's a whole bunch of them at my place. I keep having to flip them over because they're on their backs and they have their legs in the air, and it looks like they're struggling. So I'll grab I'll take my phone out and flip them back onto their legs so they're not struggling. Because are they going to die if they're on their backs like a tortoise would? You know, that kind of thing. I'll look it up when I'm at home. Anyway, I'll leave you with Poppy. Time will tell. See you tomorrow. Peach out. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.